I hope you're alright. Quick video, although there's probably nobody watching it because I'm posting it at the wrong time. My algorithm now will be all out of cock. I don't actually know what that means, to be honest with you, but apparently it's right. If I don't post at the same time, algorithm's out of cock. I mean, it sounds like a knee complaint to me. Oh, the algorithm's playing up. I'm under Mr. Brown up at Claremont, you know what I mean? But anyway, my algorithm is shut, so apparently you might not be seeing this. But for them that are, welcome Sunday review. Right, the next thing you're going to see is the video of me watching the game yesterday. It's not the usual review that I do at half time and full time. It is literally just clips of me watching a game. Might not be up your street. If it ain't, fast forward to about 25 minutes. Long day, been at work, managed to avoid the game. It's been a bit like that episode at Likely Lads, but I've had my tea, everybody's in bed, nice and relaxed, so now I'm ready. Kettle's on, we'll see how we get on. Looking forward to it. Maddie in yellow. That 4-4-2. Where's he playing? There's nobody near him. Ah! Fucking hell.
Two chances there for Lincoln. In the end, Farrell has done well. He's got down and turned the ball out for a corner, causing our own problems. Really necessary. It is a good save in the end from the feet there of Bailey Peacock Farrell, but it looked risky. It always looked like we didn't have to control the ball. He pressed us and forced a mistake. Wednesday, meanwhile, got a man down having treatment here.
Jesus.
Which McGuire at the top end. That Lincoln are attacking this half. Goes in pretty flat. The ball goes through towards around about the penalty spot. And a strike will come. Big deflection. It takes it wide. It'll be another corner kick for Lincoln City. As Iorfa now does get back on the field. Heart in mouth moment. But that was going to be a second corner in the week that we conceded from for a second there. There's a runner which you've not picked up on. It's come back towards Chris McGuire there. We've returned it back in towards the feet of Bishop. It's put into the area. Again, we'll try and work it into the box once they've headed away with Johnson that time. Palmer getting in swiftly. Once they just need to get a degree of control back again. Yeah. And I think now we're time to play out from the back. We've just had that little scare. Let's compose ourselves.
Little scare.
Around Gregory. Sheffield Wednesday and Lincoln City as the ball is floated in there, and that header goes into the side netting. Another corner. There's another corner. I thought Sorensen got his head to that, but it has been a second corner in succession.
Just calm.
Just place it down. It goes long. Up towards Gregory, just bounces off the
Nobody near him.
with the centre forward on that occasion.
Nobody near him.
Plays it down the line in towards McGuire's touch. Didn't really allow him to keep
Takes it down.
away.
Nobody in 20 yard.
Now it's Bailey Peacock foul again. Real, just slightly too high for him, but that was better from Wednesday. Johnson plays it up again, trying to find Barahina.
He's seen too much at ball. Go on. Six-inch. That's Scully. He's getting too much of it. Forward. Well done. Turn. Close him, close him, close him. Oh, oh. Oh. Oh, now then. Out of jail. Left. Well done. Go. Turn him, turn him. Go on. And pass. Well done. Well done. Oh, fuck. Come on, Baz. Right, well, half time, 0-0. Bit tense, this passing out front back. there's no confidence in it. There's nothing wrong with passing out from back, but you've got to have confidence. There's no confidence in there. It's rabbit in headlights, isn't it? He's got to change shape for me. They're overloading us in wide areas, and that Scully's getting far too much at ball. That Fabrini, or whatever he's called, even Maguire's causing us trouble. Just got to get a grip. We're just not at races really. Probably best chance. Berahino had a little turning box on near post, and that's got to get a grip. 0-0. Still got a clean sheet, just. So it's still there for us, but he's got to mix it up a bit. We'll see.
Tidy here from Lincoln City. Went through and he was intercepted by Iorfa, and he got touched, but he hasn't got out of play. But Kawhi kept it in play, and it's still not out. It went through and past the goalkeeper. They're looking for a combination of corners, penalties, take your pick, really. The ball nearly ran over the goal line while it was all happening. I can't believe what I just saw. Very strange defending.
Fucking hell.
Back. They've just lost it again. Shiro just showed a bit too much there. They still have a chance to try and regain the ball on the halfway line, but they haven't. Lincoln have played it out wide.
Easy, too easy.
Can't see the penalty here. Lincoln coming out. Sorensen's played it out wide. A chance to get the crossover. Ball puts it low into the area again. It goes past the goalkeeper and everybody else. Just needed the feints and touches, and that is 1-0. Well, that 60 seconds to a 2-minute spell could easily mean 2 goals there for the opposition. Yeah, I mean, that ball is powered across the 6-yard box. It's a great ball. Any kind of touch, and it's in the back of the net. I mean, I'm sure the player at the far post was. There was Johnson needs to get back and be careful.
Penalty.
Again, he's waved their calls away. Sorensen goes down. I mean, Johnson looked uncertain to say the least, didn't he? That's the. Oh, what's he done here?
It's a penalty.
He's given away to get
Got away with that.
against Johnson for a high foot. We're very, very lucky. Is that a compromise free kick? I definitely think so. I mean, he allowed play to go on, and that was a third penalty appeal. So, West are living really on the edge, aren't they here? They should be, by rights, behind a
Travel. Stand.
Plays inside, they get a strike away and it's saved. But it was driven in there by Fiorini, diving across and making the stop. It was the Wednesday goalkeeper, Peacock Farrell, but they're getting agitated with one another, and the crowd are certainly getting restless as well with what they're seeing in the minute. Played forward there by Hunt, he's giving it away again. They just need some composure here, John, and they're just giving it back to the opposition. Like a hot potato when they get the ball. Now a chance to run hard here with Adena, and he's trying his best to take on his man, but he stopped. No one was backing him up, and there's no. I think so. Should he?
Fucking second best.
But I think it's because he maybe, I suppose Palmer, you can probably get away with as a centre back, but Wednesday trying to keep the ball and looking to try and turn. They've done really well there.
Keep it moving.
Out wide, Hunt's cross into the centre. It was a good cross. Cleared away. Wednesday will regain it on the left. Can they get a strike?
Go on. Go on. Get him! Get him! Well done. Yes. Well done, son.
It looked really hard to put that away. I think you have to give him a lot of credit for that finish. Another manager said that he felt that he was a player that could score goals. He's already showing it.
It still needs changing.
Trying to get back on his feet. Second save. But he's managed to work it in. That was really a timely goal.
Go on, son.
Can he cut this back in towards Gregory? Gregory turns and sweeps it across the face of the goal. I don't think Berahino could quite adjust to get there, but he's got the ball and laid it off now for Brown. Brown on the edge of the area. Has to push it back. Now with Johnson. Johnson for Bannon. Can he get the crossover? He's played it through though instead. Right at the edge of the box.
Deliver.
Played back for Johnson. Hits the first man. Off Sorensen and out. He lays it off. Delibashiru takes
Well done.
over. He has it. He might fancy it. No,
Wide.
It comes the other way. Switches it back for Bannon. Crossing position. Lays it inside for Brown. Tries to clip it across. It got blocked off. And it's behind it in the corner for Wednesday.
Come on. Come
So
on.
much better. This is far better. Yeah, so much better. Far better. The confidence has returned. Just trying to poke it through there.
Better. It's better. It's better.
Slightly the wrong side. And Wednesday again win it back with Delibashiru. Great
Well
strike.
done.
Riding the tackles once again. The back's
Go on, son.
It's still Delibashiru in the area. Gets the strike away. Unlucky. He gets caught there from Watson.
Well done.
Because they can see what great work he's just done. Yeah, excellent.
Pressure.
Towards the goalkeeper. He clears it away, but I think that might go out. Has it been kept in there by Paul? It has. Just about standing on the line when he won the header.
It landed on his head.
Strong for them.
It landed on his head.
Here with Fiorini. They're pushing out wide. Paul's gone after it. Wednesday have a man down. It's a corner. It is a corner. Handball. It did look like handball as well, but in the meantime, see who that is over there. Is that Johnson? No, it's a Deneron. It is. He's just lying on his backside. He didn't move it particularly freely, maybe. Wednesday feel they need something fresh. And there's a goal just as we were talking about. It goes through the goalkeeper. The ball was sent in from the corner kick after that delay. The treatment is sent over. And it's a header that really has no right to make its way through, but it has. Smart. And it's now 1-1. Mount Smart has got it. That's a Wednesday switched off again. Another soft one. Another corner from the right hand side. Gets across our defenders. Gets his header down. Lincoln Farrell couldn't stop it. All the hard work, the second half, the improvement, potentially undone. But these are key moments, aren't they? We're talking about concentration, particularly in pro football. We've had a stoppage, and have we just mentally switched off there again? I don't know. I can't. Concentration has to be there, though, doesn't it, at all times? Well, you've got to. When you're defending, you have to concentrate. You have to make sure that you do your job and not let people get in across you. Again, we'd have to have another look at that one and see exactly what's happened, but something to study and work on next week. Now Lincoln got the tails of Mike Fancy. Another one here. It's a bouncing ball. Out comes the goalkeeper.
Fucking something to study and learn for the last fucking 5 years, John.
Wednesday need a second. We said that at 1-0. Now it's imperative. They really don't want to be drawing again. They certainly don't want to lose it, which is potentially what might happen if they're not careful.
Yeah, alright, stop getting excited.
It's pushed back in towards Chris Maguire. Lincoln's tails it up now. That's done for Bolton Academy under 23 side. Throw. Now to the right hand side. Ball puts it in towards the area. Bannon needs to get it away. He's done it very calmly.
Well done.
From the edge of the area, tries to push it on there towards Cormanu. Wasn't quite placed where he wanted it. Well, so the Owls may be looking for a double attacking force out wide to try and freshen things up. Cormanu gets his first touch to win the ball. What can he make happen here? He's dribbling well. He keeps going. Lays it off inside towards Patterson. Patterson, can he play it through? Doesn't quite find the pass. Corbin wins it back though. On the edge of the area. Bumps it through. Can Wednesday clip this across with Brown? Brown steers it towards the middle. Doesn't find a Wednesday player. Corbin jumps for it. Doesn't quite make a clean connection. And it's hooked away as far as Bannon. Bannon lays it off now in towards Adeniran. Wednesday now with Palmer. Flicking it on. Jack Hunt has possession. Can he get the crossover? He's up against the goal scorer who's out there with him. Wansler, still Jack Hunt, and he's turned his man inside out. Not out, it's going to be a corner. Hunt did well there, top of the gates.
Come on.
Barry Bannon. Can Wednesday regain their advantage? Bannon with his set piece.
Come on.
Now just waiting on that substitution. In it goes from Bannon. Can we connect with this? We did connect with it. The front post just couldn't keep it down. Flying in there, trying to steer that goalwards was Patterson. It goes too high. Yeah, he's got up really well there, Patterson. Substitution. Brown is coming off, giving way to Shadipo. So yeah, Brown makes way. Shadipo. So Wednesday will change the shape a little bit. Johnson will drop in at left back. Shadipo takes up a place on the left-hand side. Corbin comes to the right. Now what will Wednesday do? He's headed away in towards Johnson. Johnson steers it back for Bannon. Bannon challenge and then gets taken out. Come on, referee! Thought for a second he was going to let that go. Well, I think
Shithouse.
signal as though there was a bit of a dive from Barry Bannon. I don't think he did. I think he got caught. He did. But
Swat.
I think the referee changed his mind there. It's a good job. Barry Bannon then, again, trying his luck from this free kick. Puts it over. Can Wednesday get there? No. It's going to be a flag on the far side. So it doesn't matter what happens now. There we go. What is it? It's 4 minutes. Just 4 minutes. So, can he use his trickery to get this one over? Still with Corbin. Corbin gets the crossover. He will get a corner from that.
Come on.
It's coming on. He has. Different delivery now coming in from Corbin. He places it down. This will be left-footed again though from the substitute. Goes into the centre. That was a better delivery. Wednesday try and head it back towards the box. Appeal for handball. The ref ain't going to give you that. He's given nothing. Bannon works it down.
Travel.
Johnson's on the other side for the time being. Plays it back for Bannon. Bannon, get out of the way, ref. The ref is going to get out of the way. He stuck it out wide eventually. Shadipo get the better of his man. He still has it. Shadipo
Deliver. Deliver.
Blocked off, comes back for him. Can the man on loan from QPR do this time? Puts it over now. Doesn't quite find a teammate. He'll get it again, will he? No. Lost his balance. So that is it. That is it. It's time to kick this away for the final time. He kicks it now into the opposition half, and that is the full-time whistle. And the Wednesday players, some of them sinking to their feet because they'll feel as though they've let another one go. Dennis Adeniran converting from a tight angle after an initial shot was saved from Fazeo Deli Bashiru, but the output.
Well, every Sunday morning, or more recently every Sunday night, I've tried to be positive about the week we've had. And there's been some positive things this week. Luongo's back in training. Windass has posted a very positive message about him being back soon. The young lad Render's gone out on loan. Little things that you think, yeah. The main thing that's bringing everybody down though is the games. And that's a point yesterday. And the way we played, that's probably a decent point because we didn't play very well. They weren't a great side, but they were better than us. Was it Fabrini? Far too much of the ball. Scully causing us some big problems. Even Maguire, who 10 years ago, I thought was like, caused us big problems. Every week I seem to come on a Sunday and I try and defend it. And I try and talk about, we had a good start. We had a really good opening half an hour. Or I might say we had a really good half an hour after the break. Well, yesterday, we had a good 7 minutes out of 90. 94 minutes, we had a good 7 minutes after our goal, and that was it. Was it the shape? I'm not so sure it was the shape, because we used this shape the other week away from home and looked really good, really solid, gave us a good base, gave us a balance. Same shape, looked totally lost. Totally lost. After the Plymouth game, I did a little video, you might have seen it, you might not, and I jokingly said, if we're going to keep fanning around at the back like this, we may as well start playing midfielders at back. I didn't actually think, though, that that's what he were going to do. I'm starting to wonder if he's watching this. Johnson at centre-half, now, he didn't have a bad game. I'm not attaching any blame for him for what happened yesterday. You get put in a position by your gaffer, you go there, you play. I thought he did okay, as it goes. And I can understand the reasoning when Dan and Morse talked about, well, having a left foot on the left-hand side of a back three gives you that more balance. Gibson's not here. I understand the reasoning. I just don't know why you would do that to a player when you're trying to get consistent performances. I mean, so far, Marvin Johnson, he's not set the world afire, but let's be fair to the player here. Let's just have a look. He's played on the right wing, he's played on the left wing, he's played left back, he's played right back, and now he's played centre half. Now, when you're a player, any position, you want a run of games to try and get your consistency up. Look at Deli Bashiru. He just had, 2 games back to back, might be 3, I'm losing thread. Back to back, you can see that momentum building. Johnson, here, there, everywhere, then he's out. How's he meant to get consistency? If you're playing on the wing, for example, and you've got the same fullback behind you every week, you understand when he's going to go, when he's going to stay, when he's going to overlap you, when he's going to underlap you. You build up them understanding. You cannot do that if you're playing with somebody different each week. If you're on that side this week, then you're on that side. But our wingers now ain't got anybody behind him because we've changed the system entirely. I keep talking about wingers, of which we've got about 9, and now we're playing a wingerless system. I'm trying to defend Darren Moore because any manager needs time. It's not going to be straight away. That said, how much time does it take to put your identity on a team? Now, it can take time to get it fully functioning. It can take time for that philosophy to really start showing their fruition. Even Guardiola, when he went to Man City, had a 3-month spell where it was like, everyone was like, oh, you can't do it with these players. It did take time. But how much time? Because as much as they might have not got the results they wanted straight away, you could see on the pitch what he was trying to do weren't coming off. But you could see what they were trying to do. With Wednesday, I can't really see what they're trying to do. All I can see is people who look uncomfortable. Now, Adam Moore's been here since the back end of last season and obviously got players that he probably didn't want. But he's been allowed to build since then and bring in his own players. Again, keep talking about it with all these wingers, which has now been abandoned. But look at Tony Pulis, right? Nobody wanted Pulis, I don't think. Nobody wanted his style as football. Everyone thought he was a dinosaur. Blah, blah, blah. But when Tony Pulis came in, he had 8 days training with those players. And on that first Saturday away at Preston, which they were a bit unlucky to lose actually with the Windass sending off and everything, but 8 days, you watched that performance and you went, yeah, that's a Tony Pulis team. After 8 days. I'm not saying get him back, I'm just using it as an example to hold up against. How long does it take to get your methods across? 8 days. 2 banks of 4. The gap between the midfield line and the defensive line was about 4 yards. 2 forwards in front of them. Kept it very compact. 8 days it took to do that. Now I know the old saying, defending is easier than attacking. I get that. We're not particularly good at defending either. What are we doing? I can't see an actual coherent plan. And I'm not sure the players can. Talked about Johnson, left wing, right back, left back, centre back. Where is the consistency? You can only get consistent performances out of players if they're playing in a consistently picked team. I get it. We're not quite playing right, so I'm just going to change this and I'm just going to change that. Sometimes a team that gets picked every week can have a bad game. but they'll have more good games than bad games because they know what they're doing. A great example of that, look at Stuart Gray's team. 4-4-2. Not great to watch. There was the odd sparkling performance now and again where things clicked. But in the main, we didn't have a great squad. There wasn't a great depth. But Newey or May were really the only strikers. 4-4-2, sometimes 4-5-1, but you knew what you were going to get. And the players knew what they were going to get. He's got him in front of him every week. Them two are playing in middle every week. That understanding's there. Give the players a chance. If you give the players a chance, you pick the same 11, 3, 4, 5 weeks, the same system, the same style, and they're still playing crap, then look at bringing somebody else in. The selections. I thought Lewis Wing would start. I'm not saying I wanted him to start. I don't think he's been playing brilliantly by any means, and I certainly won't want Deli Bashiro dropping out the side because he's been fantastic and he's building up that momentum. That momentum that gets built by playing every week in the same position. So simple. But Wing, not been doing brilliantly, but in the last 3 games, I would say, making some brilliant runs into the box and actually getting on the end of things. If he'd not been playing well for 2 or 3 games and then more dropped him, I would have been like, fair enough. But he weren't playing great. But then he started doing the right things. They weren't coming off for him, but he started doing the right things. A midfielder who makes them late runs into the box and gets on the end of things, they can be vital. Doesn't matter if you're in the 4th division of the Premier League or international level. David Platt made a career out of ghosting into the box from midfield. An entire career built on that special ability. Best crosser of a ball? No. Best passer of a ball? No. Great tackler? No. That ability to get in there, unmarked defenders, where's he come from? Brilliant. Not Lightning Wing 2 David Platt or somebody of that quality, but I'm saying he was starting to make them runs, and I just thought, well, if you're showing faith with a player, fair enough. But suddenly he's out. Just puts 2 or 3 games together where he's making them runs, starting to actually get on the end of things. I just thought another week, probably put one of them away, confidence will be through the roof. Because he's been backed by his manager. He backs him through the initial bit of his bad patch, and then when he's coming out of his bad patch, out. I don't know. I just don't know. The forward line, I don't know what's happening with the forward line. We've got Gregory who works hard, can't really play in the one up front though as well, which is the system that clearly all these wingers were signed to play in. He goes on and on and on. What is our best system? I've been thinking about this. We've tried a few things, haven't we? And I've been thinking about which one has worked best for us. But we tried that 3 at back against Wimbledon, and I thought, yeah, all right, that's all right. That works for us. But then we played a 4-2-3-1 against Rotherham. They were the better team, but we got the better result. We put in a good performance. Even though they outplayed us, we put in a really good performance and got a point. We played a 3-3 and looked all right in patches. The Shrewsbury game, little bits against Ipswich, Wigan. All these systems. But the truth is, no matter what system you play, unless you've got a team mentality in the style that you play, in the way that you play, or you're a defensive team who's going to play on the counter-attack, have you got that pace to play on the break? Are you going to be a front foot team that closes teams down? 4-4-2, 4-3, none of it matters. Managers are always talking about identity. Have your identity. The system can change around that identity. You can play front foot football in any formation. You can play defensive football in any formation. I think he's got to stop getting hung up on that and focus on the basics. What am I asking the players to do? One of the only things we haven't seen this year is a diamond in midfield. And I just sat there thinking last night, I thought that might actually be a way for us to get something from this. 2 fullbacks pushing on, because so much of your width comes from your wide fullbacks these days. We still get the 2 up front, which we really need because Gregory's our top scorer, but he can't really play the lone role. We've got the conundrum of what do you do with Barry Bannon? Well, we've got Adeniran, we've got Delabishiro, we've got Wing, we've got Luongo to come back. That is where the jigsaw really needs putting together. And perhaps a diamond might be the way to do that. Delabishiro bombing on, getting into the box, powering defenders out of the way like Skittles with them surging runs. Adeniran with his energy and getting up and down and box to box. Maybe a Luongo in there to break things up because we're not brilliant at that. And maybe we can have Bannon just tucked inside off of the left. I've done a little diagram, have a look and let me know what you think. I'm not saying it's what we should do, I'm just saying it's just a little idea that came in my head. So this is just my example. If we pick this, call it 4-4-2, diamond, 4-1-3-2, call it whatever you want to do. If you pick a squad, a team, consistently in this one system, I think you've got players in the best areas of the pitch. So we've got Bannon in midfield in a slightly more attacking area, but he can still drop in and receive when he wants to. He can link with his overlapping fullback. We've got Adeniran in there, Delabishiro, which is give us the power, the pace, and at the back, a holding player like Luongo, who when both of our fullbacks are bombing on, and Hutchinson and Ayo for split, Luongo's there, it almost can become a 3 anyway. Which Darren Moore keeps more or less wanting us to change to. We still keep 2 up front. Now obviously I've put Canberry in here just because I like saying his name, Canberry. But it could be Patterson, it could be Saul, it could be whoever it is. But it allows you to play 2 up front, which gets the best out of Lee Gregory, who is our best goal scorer so far. So I quite like this shape, and I'm looking at that and I'm thinking Delabishiro can go pushing on through the midfield. Adeniran's got the legs to get up and down. Bannon can do what he does best away from Satanas centre-half's toes. We've got a ball winner in there, and we've got 2 attacking-minded fullbacks, Brown and Hunt. I'm liking the look of that. But the good thing is if we went to something like this, it would allow us, when somebody has a bad run of games, or if somebody gets suspended or injured, we can bring one in. We're not having to make wholesale changes because we're already playing a system where everybody can fit in and has a part to play. So if Hunt gets a suspension, Palmer can come in at right back, no problem. Brown gets a knock, Johnson can come in. Gibson can come in for Hutchinson, Dunkley for Iordofa. If we're away from home, maybe Luongo could go out, Byers can come in, a ball player in front of the back 4. Bannon gets an injury, Wing can come in. Delabishiro, he's a young lad, he's not going to be in great form all the time, he has a bit of a dip. You can put Berahino in there, he can almost make a 3 up front. Adeniran, Corbino, when you've got the ball, you could, even if you're playing with a diamond, you can still get the ball wide. You can still have players peeling out on the overlap. So a Corbino could come in for Adeniran if that's what's required in a game. It just gives us that flexibility. And it also gives us a stability. Players aren't having to change the way they play all the time. So even if you have one player next to you who might drop out for a week, everybody else is still doing the same job. It gives you a chance for consistency. Would that system alone allow us to suddenly become a great team? No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Because form can come and go. Players can get injured, get suspended. There's always things that's going to happen. But what I think that would do, it would give us a consistent platform for the players to build performances on. If you know you're playing that position every week, you're more confident in yourself. You know what you're doing. You know what those around you are doing. But as I just showed from my diagram there, we've got several players who can play in those positions. So not only are you playing in a position where you're comfortable, you know what you're doing, you know the people around you, you know the way they're going to play, you're going to create those little partnerships and understandings and playing relationships, if you like, with those players. But you've still got that little bit of pressure that is needed, that there's somebody else who plays the exact same position as you, who's pushing you all the way. And if you have a bad couple of games, they can come in and slot seamlessly into that team in that position. At the minute, somebody gets injured, it's like, right, abandon the back 4, let's go to a back 3. Somebody else gets injured, right, let's abandon that, let's play 5 across the middle. If you play a system like that, somebody gets injured, somebody else slots straight in. So even though it can be wrenching for the team to lose that particular player, whoever it is, you know, if Delabishiro was injured on Saturday, it would be gutting for Wednesday. But if you've got someone who can slot straight into that role, which I believe we have, if we play players in the right positions, I think we would see something going forward from Wednesday with a formation like that diamond. This is going on. I might actually cut that and make it a separate video. We'll have a look. Let me know what you think about that. The pressure's mounting up on Darren Moore. There can't be any doubt about that. I can sit here all night. I can go through every single game and I can talk about the positive points. Delabishiero's starting to show some of that promise. He's trying to, fulfil some of that potential. I can sit here and talk about Liam Palmer's versatility and what a great servant he's been for Wednesday and how useful he's proven to be this season. And he's given performances more consistent than some supposed stars of the team. I can sit here and break it down and look for the positives and everything. But the truth is this: Wednesday are lacking a cutting edge going forward. Wednesday are conceding a lot of poor goals, both in open play and from set pieces. We're 14 games into the season, we're still lacking a proper identity where you can identify it and look at it and go, yeah, that's a Sheffield Wednesday side, or yes, that's a Darren Moore side. November next, soon be Christmas. Things have got to improve for him. And he's got to help himself to that end. I want him to succeed. I want him to probably succeed. I always want managers who are nice people to succeed. I know that doesn't transfer itself in life. Quite often, shithouses are the most successful people that you meet in life. But it doesn't stop me wanting nice people to do well. And he just seems like a nice bloke, and I really still want him to do well. I want him to wake up one morning and go, do you know what? Look here. I'm going to go out and we're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it basic. We're going to do the simple things of the game very well, and we're going to get some results. And I argue with myself, and I say to myself, we're on 3 points outside playoffs. We're up there in 9th place. Is it that? That can't last. With this level of performance, that will drift away. Other things that we've talked about this season are not going to vanish. When we go away to, so I'm going to say, some smaller clubs, that is going to be a very hard game for us because that is going to be one of their biggest games of the season. They will get that extra 20%. It might upset some clubs to hear that, but I'm not really bothered. That's a fact. Players on the pitch, I'm not worried about the fans, but the players on the pitch, who players at their grounds, will lift their game. It's a psychological thing, it will happen. If we're not clicked, if we're not in gear, if we haven't gelled, the magic word, this season's going to be very long very quickly, unless he can put a stamp on that team and get them playing. And as much as I try and put a positive spin on it, I'm starting to have doubts that that's going to happen. Because so far, the answer is, every time there's a little bit that goes wrong, chuck the runs up in the air and just see where they land again. I can't see a consistency of selection. I can't see a consistency of formation. I can't even see a consistency of style of play. Yes, you've got to adapt game to game. I get that. Adapt within a game. If you've got a good, solid game plan, your players are playing well, go out and start that way. If it's not going your way, yes, then adapt. Let's not adapt before kick-off every single week because we're playing Lincoln, we're playing Oxford, we're playing Wimbledon, playing Cheltenham. Let's go out with our own identity. Let's try and push onto teams. Let's try and attack. Let's try and get the best out of our players. Let's let the opposition worry about what we can do. And if it's not working, then adapt within the game to stifle them. I really want him to succeed. Do I want him to get sacked? No, I don't. Christ, who would you get? That's a whole nother bag of worms. Maybe we'll do another video on that should it happen. But just want him to do the basics well and stop faffing about. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you next Friday for a preview. Well, probably the early hours of Saturday morning because my timescale's all to cock. Anyway, have a good week, whatever you're doing. Up the owls.